They're getting the Star-Lord team up with the Adam Warlock. For Korova, Adam Warlock has been a real specialty, something I'm looking to have a big performance in that game. That said, Envy has a really powerful front-to-back poke here, so the strategists are going to need to be working overtime for Sentinels.
And for Sentinels, you know, the versatility on the duels is also interesting, just because Super Gomez can be on the Star-Lord or Raimez can be the Star-Lord. Korova, though, already gets a super early punish onto Remix, and, you know, hydration somewhere.
He's laughing all the way to the bank right now. that was a pretty big mistake. I think did he have adaptive shield? He just didn't pop it in time. He got bursted so fast for a Venom. Remix, though, trades back onto Super Gomez. Hogs pressured out, forces the skill, but just the res onto Super Gomez. So with Cal dropping, it ends up being worth it, and Sentinels really leveraging this composition and the team up for their advantage.
Yeah, right now it hasn't been much of team fights, just been pickoffs before the team fights, but Sentinels in full control the whole way through. Now look at Kaluj just punching his way through the front right now, 25% away from clobbering time. Super Gomez in, laying damage from the back. There we go, invisible boundary gonna be used pretty early into the fight. Envy looking for a way in. Sleepy, of course, got Mischief setting that up. Meanwhile, back row Super Gomez, Galactic Legend gonna be popped into the back. Looking for pickoffs, gets one already, invisible woman down. And nice, easy cleanup here, Jake, for the Sentinels.
It's easy, but it is expensive here. That's a pretty big deployment. Forced to use the Adam Warlock res. May not have been necessary there, but just for safety from Korova. I mean, he does deal so much damage on this Adam Warlock. There's something to be said for just locking in the fight win. And Cal, though, is going to have, I think, a relatively uncontested again and again right now. So, or rather, it's NK on the Winter Soldier. So that's really the thing that we need to see pop off with Remix and the Venom ult. You could easily see this turn into a pretty aggressive fight for Envy.
Particularly with Loki in the back, right? It's one of the things where Winter Soldier, you know, oftentimes Loki's enemy. What in the world from downtown? NK getting the pick on the Aramori. Setting up Envy here for this fight. Goss of Death kind of forced out by Cal, nearly died and does die. Korova being a real threat, but here we go, Kraken Impact. What's
easy finishes, though.
Reset? No, and I think part of that is with Loki dying so early in the fight, what are you gonna reset on right away?
Yeah, Cal went in immediately for the Goddess of Death, but just Envy looked off sync there, right? Like, that's a fight they should assuredly win. They got the opener onto Loki, one of the better defensive options in the comp. And you'd think with Loki down, it's time to go. Dynamic the game is in this Vanguard matchup. Sentinels playing very slow, not going to point first. They're going to let Envy take position and look to go for a counter dive. But Super Gomez has a relatively uncontested legendary here.
Yeah, immediately drops the Galactic Legend into the back,
nice
just
pick.
pummels NK. Knew his target, went for it. However, the Resurrection is immediately there with the Adam Warlock team up, so the advantage may be short-lived. Hogs getting pummeled a bit. Aramori under a little bit of pressure. Got a Mischief, though, about to be out here. And the space down, Sentinels still in control of the fight, Jake.
They forced the ult from Raimazing, but the flip already came in, so every second of this fight is starting taking up the advantage here for Sentinels. See if they're going to be able to stabilize Korova. A great cam to be on. You know this guy always performs in the Adam Warlock, and there's a full burst onto Paintbrush, and that's just a fight over. Korova on the signature pickoff. I think this is something that many teams have respect banned against Sentinels, and that's why. He just puts that work, and it's you call this triple strategist, but Korova is basically a duelist.
I mean, Korova's giving me those old school Jonak vibes right now with what he's playing off on Warlock. It is actually ridiculous where you're getting that level of contribution from your strategist line. Really, really effective now. 40% for Sentinels. Well on their way to their map 1 victory here. Envy needs something good to happen their way as Remix is just getting pummeled before he's even able to get in.
Great position here from the Venom. Hogs waiting over the top, ready to dive that back line. Aggressive move in now. Venom still waiting, still looking for the strategist. NK, though, with that legendary, looking to pop off now.
NK needs to find something here, but Gomez on the other side. Galactic Legend, it's legends all around. The healing enough to prevent too much going in, but Gomez, Blaster Barrage into the back line with Hogs, enough to get 2 down here, Jake. And 70%, Envy gets maybe 1 fight to change the destiny here in map 1.
Yeah, the synchronicity from the squad of Sentinels is just over the line right now. Their dives coming in so much more coordinated, so much more aggressive. That sync with that bullet dance from Super Gomez, so powerful with both Vanguards diving at the same moment, hitting all those AoE skills. It just cleans up all the Loki clones and turns into an easy team fight.
90% map 1 in the balance. Envy making their final push out towards the point. God of Mischief on deck.
Body block.
Gonna be popped immediately. Here we go, Galactic Legend in, NK, looking for anything. Was able to get Kurova down early, a huge pickoff here, Jake. Kurova will not be the menace that he's been in previous fights. Gomez going down right after Kurova, though. Able to use the self-resurrection, yeah, right back on in. Karmic Rebirth, and now NK trying to make something happen. Sentinels still in the fight. Envy trying to stay in it themselves. Cal in it, Remix in the front line, but Galactic Legend popped. Where's that gonna go right now? As you look here, Gomez into the back line, half down, Envy down another. Remix again torn up, the tank line getting hit from Gomez on the back. And you see how Remix just barely able to back off. It's super low HP, Space Remix cannot stay up for long here, Jake.
Gomez just having the last answer there, the final nail in the coffin. Envy just staggering back to the point, forced into a desperation Spider-Man swap, but it's going to be too little too late. Kaluj dominating here on the objective, and that's map 1.
So damn strong. I was fully expecting to kind of just see the whole Asgardian team up coming through there from the squad, but Kalush with a flash on Thor doesn't stick with it, plays the thing, but the comp overall just looks gorgeous from Sentinels. And I mean, Jake talked about it, 0 deaths really on that front line, and it was only, what, 7 deaths total for Sentinels throughout the map, which is not something that you want to be seeing if you're an NV fan, if you're here cheering for iRemix to be able to find the win. They need to be able to get these picks. Gomez completely just off the leash here, completely uncontained from Envy. They need to find a way to shut this guy down.
Yeah, and again, when I looked at this, you can point to a lot of factors, but for me, it was just the neutral game. The fact is that you
Body
cannot...
bot from Kaluj, so sick, actually.
Yeah. Kaluj is great, by the way, when it comes to that level of situational awareness, whether...
in terms of just the strategist, I think. So either way, I think gets the job done. Sentinels see the rollout. Aramori on... Surely this is just for the team up for like the moments out of spawn. Let Kaluj have that extra damage. Yeah, so she's gonna swap, but I kind of like that tech strat for like just letting Kaluj walk out with the team up, pop it on cooldown, and like it's a pretty innovative way to approach that opening of the map.
You know, it also is an innovative remix with the super early catch on the Kurova. Right place, right time as Cal just pops off on the side. Some hella action completely stymieing the Sentinels off the rip.
Yeah, Cal's really aggressive right now, looking to get more, and I think that's a player that I highlighted for Envy. I think it's a player who needs to pop off, especially on Midtown, where there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the Hela duel. Super Gomez, I think, hasn't been quite as storied on the Hela. I think of him more as a flanker player, so whether or not he's able to take this matchup to Cal is going to be a big question for Sentinels.
Okay, looking at Remix, was able to get the early grab here. Now a little bit of pressure onto Hela, waiting for the dive. See the Magneto shield come out, but Remix getting good solid damage in his space on the other end. Finds Gomez. The front line for Envy looking far better on Midtown so far. Cal able to pick up one off on the side, and the neutral game looking completely redefined right now, Jake, for Envy from map 1 to map 2.
Yeah, big value being found by the defensive Hela here. Sentinels have moved the card up little by little, but so many picks have gone against them, and they're starting to think, yeah, maybe they need that reset. And Super Gomez, see how he tries to get into this, but Cal is just working them over right now. It feels like every time they walk up, it's Cal finding an opening on the rotate, and Sentinels aren't even really able to play the game in the face of that kind of pressure.
They've been struggling. They haven't really had even a full reset here, but they do have ultimates coming online. Sentinels ult cycling has been amongst the best here so far, so we'll see what Kaluj does here early on. I do think the Strange bands, by the way, now that I think of it, is more targeted at Kaluj. Kaluj is really good at Strange, and I think while he's not bad at the rest of his Vanguards, clearly Strange has been his best hero. So, you know, Kaluj having to work maybe a little bit out of his comfort zone where he'd rather be Strange, but Remix gets caught. Couldn't get away, sets up the 6v5 now. Sentinels have resources to throw in, and for Envy, do you throw ults into a disadvantaged fight or do you wait?
They are going to pop the Luna Snow ultimate, so they're going to double down. Kurova is stunned and bursted. Cal with another critical pickoff, just carrying the squad right now for Envy. The hero that the team needs is going to pop that Goddess of Death. Meteor M from space as well, dumped in over the top, but Sentinels, strategist ults are looking to do enough. Super Gomez does win that duel, and Cal in real trouble. Doesn't have much to stay alive. Over the top now, Kaluj with the Meteor M. And it seems to be a potential cart rolling forward here for Sentinels. They need to not lose any players, though. They need to be in full strength to be able to full cap this map.
Remix picked up Gomez on the back line, but that's kind of a stagger for not a lot of benefit there. Wasn't able to get a little bit of stall onto the convoy. And now you look where Envy is. This should potentially just roll in. It's gonna be close if we get a touch or not. Like really,
if Envy
really
gets
close.
a fight, it's good though, because Super Gomez pretty slow off the respawn. So I think this actually could be value for Remix. However, if they're gonna get the touch is the question. And yeah, just a little bit too far away off the spawn there. So Sentinel's gonna be happy with that, finding the advantage once again. Cal, we gotta get on this Cal cam. This guy is just absolutely putting that Wizard down in this game. I want to see what he's doing on this defense. Remix for still holding the front line. And diving in now, pushing past the choke. This is a risky move, very close to the attacker spawn. Big dump of resources.
They're pushing because Luna is down though. Off the Cal pick, Envy I think correctly decides, hey, we can go a little bit more aggressive. They're still trying to win the overall HP war, but Sentinels is back up to 6. The horn blown, catches one. Kurova getting hit by NK, and Kurova has just been absolutely bullied by the Envy duelists so far in this game. And you know, Envy doing a great job of maintaining this numerical advantage in a lot of these fights, Jake.
Yeah, taking the fight to the spawn is big, but it's a quick reset for Sentinel. So I think in the end, they're not too worried about losing a fight at this position on the cart. When they get a little bit deeper, I think it will become more costly. Now Envy only has Remix ult, but once again, Cal looking for something on the flank. He's been the opener time and time again. Got to be very cautious. TP away from that Loki. Cal looking for more, constantly playing this third-person peek, looking for all those opportunities. Such a thorn in the side of Sentinels as they try to walk forward.
Also, even just taking down the Loki clones, reducing Loki's effectiveness a bit. NK, though, finds Gomez. The early pick. Amazing, though. Drops the horn, and it's big. Gets 2. Kaluj, meanwhile, Meteor M. And the ultimate usage for Sentinels, absolutely sublime here on the second point.
Yeah, just an underrated aspect of the Namor Luna Snow team up, right? It's beyond just the raw team up values. When Luna Snow goes into that damage amping mode on dance floor, the Horn of Proteus from Namor ends up one-shotting pretty much everything except the Vanguard cast, which is such a big difference maker with how much healing is available in Marvel Rivals. To be able to get a solid one-shot is a complete game changer. Super Gomez is going to go over to the Winter Soldier here, so an interesting choice. Ceding the Hela duel to Cal, feeling like it's not going well enough for them. I mean, hard to blame them, but I would say this Hela unchecked is a scary prospect with how Cal's been playing.
Yeah, and you're going to see Cal go even more aggressive here. You have the Gods of Death, so you know if things get bad, you can pop it, but you can't pop it when you're stuck in the bathroom here and just gets taken down. The rotation, really good for Sentinels. They get rid of the Cal threat. They give themselves a 6-on-5, and Kaluj now just gets to walk forward a bit. However, Remix somehow gets Gomez into the back, evens things out. Aramori. Fate of Both Worlds going to be popped here. Sentinels looking to stay even on the point. Cal, though, is going to be back here soon, Jake. Gods of Death on deck. Sleepy got a mischief, buying time for Envy to get back to full strength. Hogs, though, got Pink. Decent pick.
Horn of Proteus blocked, though, by that Loki rune. Now Venom under a lot of pressure. Remus forks back. This is a real tempo swing for Sentinels. They've got a lot of ultimates to continue to leverage, pushing forward. Not least Super Gomez here with the Kraken impact, looking to get active here. Maybe won't even need it, though, as the pickup's starting to really come through now for Team Sentinels. It is going to be Pop Kraken coming in, but was blocked by a very well-timed shield from Space.
Yeah, I mean, Space Gang 1, though, off the Meteor M, pretty damn good. As we see Hogs now going in. For Sentinels, trying to keep them in it. This fight turned to a standstill. Kaluj, though, got pinked into the back. Sentinels now working with a real big advantage. Only 3 left for Envy. Surely they can't stall for long. They cannot. Second point done. And now we head into third as Hogs, a little bit of cleanup on the Venom.
Yeah, just cleanups and Sentinels. And we talked about the risk of Marvel Rivals of, you know, trying to win those fights off picks and not dumping ultimates. But when you can get away with it, you do look like a really smart team. So Sentinels coming into last with still a major ultimate advantage. That being said, Envy's quite close to a few of their ultimates. Would love to have those as the difference maker, especially looking for that Horn of Proteus from NK. Could look to get that online with Paintbrush's ult. Look for that combo one-shot I talked about earlier.
I mean, we're going to see whales flying on both sides here, right? Amazing looking NK looking. Cal, though, see if Cal can do it in the neutral once more before anything is even popped in the storyline for me for Envy in this game so far. But right now, both teams taking their time neutral, building up on the ultimates. Nearly a full bank for Sentinels here. We'll see where this goes, but now Envy decide to move in. Pain with the Luna ult. Horn popped. Nothing happening there. You see the counter, Fate of Both Worlds in. Both whales have been dropped. Both teams still full, but Paint getting caught at the end from Kaluj with the Meteor M. Key advantage here from Sentinels. Cal into the air. Goddess of Death going to be popped, and Cal likely going to be brought immediately back down. Rough position being here is Hela, looking for anything right now. Flies off to the side, still alive. Breaks some of the pressure. In over the top. Hogs gets one. Can you get the pick off? Cal can. Gets the hit onto Kurova. and gets another versus, gets Sleepy back into the fight here, Jake. Envy, though, still getting pushed back a bit.
It's a big pickoff, gets an opportunity here for Envy, but they've lost so many players, and Namor being that unstoppable force here, continuing that payload rolling. It is overtime though for Sentinel, so no more mistakes, and it's a full deathmatch now. No teams have any ultimates online. Cal couldn't get that second pick-off onto Aramori's Loki, just a little too quick with that immortality rune. Now both teams looking for an opener, keeping the pressure on heavy, but it's risky. You can see how quick even the Vanguards drop.
You need the touch right now. They're almost at the very end. Finally, Envy in onto the point. Remix first in. Gets a barrier from Magneto. Gomez, though, the huge pickoff onto Cal at the start. Now the Cal threat is gone. Envy gonna have to win 5 versus 6. It's all about the horn right now. NK, where's this whale gonna land? Looking, gets one, keeps him alive. Sleepy, though, down in turn. Right, amazing. A horn of his own, ready to go. Another whale about to fly. Sentinels, where is it gonna go? Envy, they still need to stand the point all the while here, Jake. Right, amazing, holding on to horn, hogs in the back, devours Cal. It should be Sentinels bringing it home.
Nice burst timing from Hogs, waiting for that secondary skill to pop. Before we talked about this early in the round, when you lose your Luna Snow, it really takes the legs out from under the composition. For now, Paintbrush rolling on the Invisible Woman, looked to maybe to pop a barrier and keep the fight rolling. Both teams on a relative mirror, but Gomez sticking with the Winter Soldier, willing to let Cal have the dominance in terms of the Hela, but valuing the team play that Winter Soldier offers. And Remix is going to have to be very cautious with those movement disruption abilities available.
Well, I think that's the other key thing, too, is that when you go to the Winter Soldier, you're able to apply more pressure on the Remix, more pressure on the space, and sort of change your terms of victory a little bit, relative than if you're running the Hela, where you're way more focused on taking out enemy duelists and strategists on the whole. We're looking at Gomez right now on squid duty as Remix comes in. Getting the hook ready, looking for the finish. Instead, goes for space, a little bit extra damage on the Magneto. Cal, though, strikes, Jake. Early pickoff on the Aramori. And the Envy offense is looking supercharged with the 2 Cal picks.
Cal with the headshots time and time again. It's what makes the difference. Super Gomez trades it back, though, extremely low on the flank. It's turning scrappy, but it seems to be going the way of Team Envy. A little bit more health in the tank space. Starting to work this cleanup. Cart going to be rolling forward for Envy, and that first point choke that was so difficult for Sentinels goes down very quickly to Team Envy.
Yeah, I mean, Sentinels will get one more contest here. I think they have enough time to touch and go from there. The problem is, ult-wise, it's not great. I mean, they're really going to be banking on Kaluj to open up with Meteor M and create an opening for Gomez to get some Kraken impact chains. It's what they're looking for here. We'll see how this one goes. Remix for now, on the wall. A little bit of pressure, looking for his counterport. Forces out the shield early from the enemy Venom. Feast online. Envy holding on to ult, so is Sentinels right now. Who's going to be the first to break? Remix forced back, but now good. Fate of both worlds, though, opened up here by Envy. Remix going in turn, says it's time to feast. Gomez responding, Kraken impact. Gets the reset number 1. Looking into the back line. Again, feasting on the Loki clones. Meanwhile, though, Space Meteor M. Super Gomez down first. The Goss of Death strikes. And Envy is going to get point A.
Yeah, even with the strategist ults online, Aramori wasn't able to find the opportunity to get hers off, and that leaves Envy getting the cap. It was expensive. It cost them 6 ultimates, but they get it done, and so much time on the clock now, and it's got to look at Sentinels not able to find the windows to get some key ultimates off in that last engagement. Definitely a mistake from them here on Midtown as Envy look to potentially cap with more time.
Yeah, and when you look at the situation here, I mean, Sentinels, this first fight should be pretty economical for them. I mean, they can open God of Mischief into the Luna clone. They can open even with the
Frozen
Horn, but a Cal nearly getting punished. That would have been economical and then some, but also on that same note, Hogs getting forced back. But God of Mischief could be used here early by Aramori into a little bit of clone dancing. As Sentinels try and push a little bit of advantage. The Horn ready, you see the damage boost ready to get time. The Horn comes down. And the counterpart, Luna, going down in turn, paint out of it, and Sentinels, really nicely executed fight, Jake.
Yeah, I love these combos we're seeing from the Venom. That's definitely something great that the viewers can take to home, is where you pop that secondary skill on Venom, setting up for that nuke to come in, and then right when it pops is when you pop the ultimate, and it almost is a one-shot combo, right? If you time it perfectly, especially with the damage amp, it pretty much gets over the line there. So great setup for Sentinels. It's a fight they really needed to win. Now defending with a little bit better position. We'll see how they elect to take this fight from the high ground.
Envy, a better spot in ult-wise here to kick off this fight. NK going to be looking for the Horn opportunity right away. They might wait for Paintbrush to get Fate of Both Worlds up. You know, it's an option there, especially if you want to go for more of a one-shot opportunity. But for now, Sentinels, Hogs, a little bit of zoning. Now into the back, the opportunity gone, and Cal's flank is punished early putting Envy in a really tough spot here, Jake, where I don't know if they want full disengage, but if they don't, it could turn away, but they get Amazing back to even.
Amazing had to use his shield bubble to get up to the high ground to make that play, so it's great awareness from Envy to turn for the focus fire. Magneto super deep into the backline, is going to get bailed out though by some strategist ults from Envy. So far, they're not able to find the lockdowns, but there it is from Kaluj. Once again, he's the Magneto making the huge difference. We talked about his Doctor Strange being so strong, but this is one of those players who I think just across the board is a massive threat right now for Sentinels, one that you cannot ignore, especially when the ultimates are online.
I think when it comes to Kaluj, whether he's on the Magneto or the Strange, Jake, he might be one of the highest efficiency at getting value out of his ultimates out of any player we've seen across all regions.
Yeah, and that Meteor M, I think, is such a bellwether for your Vanguards, right? Like, if they're just using it to defend people and, you know, to keep them alive, it's like the minimum value. But the Meteor M, when it's able to one-shot a backliner, just completely turns the game on its head. And Kaluj has been the one fighting that so many times. Amazing, rather, Remix getting nuked super hard there by Amazing, has to pop the shield and back off.
NK got Amazing. Amazing wasn't able to get away. Sets up the man advantage now for Envy. Envy gonna go in even deeper. Fate of Both Worlds used. Space with the Meteor M. 2 up as they look to just burn ultimates, secure the advantage. Hogs, though, gonna feast in turn. Sentinels trying to burn something the turn. They use the cloned Luna ult from Aramori. Kaluj, though. Meteor M. Can he do it again? Kaluj is waiting, looking. Can't get it this time. NK, though, down. Dawson Death in from Cal. Cal looking for anything. Positioning for the low for Sentinels, pretty decent for avoiding the worst of it. Amazing back into the fight. Ready to blow the horn. Looking and waiting. The horn is used, drops it, and gets it onto Paint in the back.
So massive. That was a better strategy assault for Envy. They had the long fight, but the burst combo comes through, found by Amazing, and it turns everything on its head. Envy down, lacking the damage to follow through on that Loki copied Luna Snow ultimate. And once again, stymied here in second point. And Sentinels, this isn't even really their last fight on second. This is a bit of a throwaway fight, but they've been winning it time and time again. When with all this structure destroyed, it looks pretty scary here for Envy to walk up. And there's Cal dropping off the rip.
That is huge, because now you look at the timing here, Jake. Envy's going to have to touch while down one to an extent. I mean, Cal's now running back. It really hurts their positioning for what could be the final fight. NK. A little bit quiet for a little bit now. The horn is ready to be blown. Not going to have the Luna backup here, either from the Loki clone or the Luna herself. So NK, we'll see how it works out. Hogs, though, into the back here's Venom. Gets hit with the freeze. We'll see if the fall through is there. Forces out the regen domain early. Hogs forcing resources to be burned into the backline. Envy, meanwhile, has to go forward. We are in overtime, and the Venom is just such a huge threat into the back right now. Hogs able to get away, still healthy. Gomez, cracking impact used. Meanwhile, space off the Meteor M gets one. Envy still in a decent spot here in this fight. Fate of Both Worlds gonna use here by Pain. All resources on deck for Envy as they look to stay alive. Now on to NK. The horn ready to be blown. Takes down Super Gomez. The horn can put in over the top. Waiting and waiting is NK. Sees the Fate of Both Worlds used on the other side. Still waiting here. Sentinels, though, down one, Jake, as Envy pushes the advantage.
Yeah, and these picks, they're maybe going down very late here. Dying on the cart, though, is a great choice there by Aramori. Needs to just stall, and Sentinels looking to regroup, looking to get one last fight, but it's going to be a tight touch. I mean, that spawn for Aramori, for Kurova, so long, and with Kaluj going down, I think that will be Team Envy capping second point in overtime.
Envy staying alive when pushed to the brink, but Jake getting the final point here on Midtown, easier said than done. Sentinels, by all metrics, ahead in the tempo on the map. And I think you have to look at Envy here and go, they need economy, they need Cal to get some neutral picks more than anything else.
Super Gomez is so low, and just the better spam from Envy forces the strategist ult. See if the combo comes through, and there it is from Amazing. The sync has been beautiful from this Sentinel squad. They never miss that combo, something they're always timing, always perfect with it, and just as, you know, perfect, beautiful from Kurova that, like, he's only on that damage for just a fraction of a second, enough to ensure the one-shots, and then right back to heal, so there's just no window for Envy to counterplay. Now the cart being held pretty much right in front of Envy's spawn, and so Sentinel's gonna start to run the clock down, although hold on. What are you looking at, bro?
Cop row third person peeking is what just happened there. Cal does not miss those when the target is not moving at all, which would be expected at this level of play. So Cal, early pickoff onto a distracted Super Gomez, sets up just this repeated momentum now. Gets the other pick on the right, Amazing. Going up, tells Hogs what's up, forces out the Venom shield. I don't think Hogs is getting away from this one so much as he wants. Another pick off from Cal, team assisted, and off the pick from Gomez, Jake, tragedy.
Sleepy, though, does pop the copy, though, which, you know, as much as that's a great fight for Team Envy, they are only going to have one strategist ult. They have everything else, so they, you know, they should be in a decent spot, but NK without the whale, Sleepy without the copy Loki ultimate, this actually looks like a potentially difficult fight. Sentinels are going to have double support ultimate, going to be very hard to evict from the payload, and Envy going to have to hold on. We're going to need to see a very defensive ultimate, I think, here from Paintbrush needs to get perfect value.
See Cal right now just playing terrain editor in the top line, looking for peaks. Hogs, though, under bit pressure, still has a shield in reserve, not going down yet. Kaluj looking to end it here and now. Meteor M, not going to get this time. Korova using Fate of Both Worlds. Sentinels trying to put away. Space, huge Jake with 2. Cal got death in over the top, grabs 2 for himself. It is death from above. Meteors and crows raining on in for Envy as they stay alive here in overtime, real close to the end.
It's one more test, though, and it's going to be Aramori with the copy here. So essentially a second dance floor going to be available here. Envy, they don't have any ultimates to work with. This last fight is going to be a real challenge. They want to get some spawn kills, want to deny Sentinels the touch, but it's going to be difficult here. At the same time, Sentinels need to get out of spawn and convert this ultimate into real kills to make this defense happen.
Aramori, Fate of Both Worlds, setting things up here for Sentinels. Off they go. Envy, meanwhile, NK has the horn ready. Will be an unassisted horn. Wants to wait out the Fate of Both Worlds before dropping it. Throws it in the backline, gets banked. Is amazing. The horn strikes first from the Sentinels. 3 pickoffs, only 3 left for Envy. Surely this is the map coming in for Sentinels. We'll see if Envy can turn around, but 3 versus the world would be ridiculous. Right now, it's just payload control Jake. Both Cal able to get 1. Cal, there's a chance. Oh, but not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been hard to stay in the car. I think that is pretty much a C9. I think that was almost
Clear, because 2-0 lead here for Sentinels. I mean, they might just be looking to give us one of the fastest weeks that we've had so far here at Fight Night, because right now, I mean, Sentinels, they're in the driver's seat. They do barely kind of close out the victory here, but they're looking at potentially pulling off yet another 3-0.
And, you know, in a way, ZP, this is kind of what I expected to see from this match. Like, I thought Sentinels would be the stronger team, but I've been particularly impressed by the individuals on Envy. While the team play isn't coming together nearly as well, you think about something like these Horn of Proteus combos, they're just landing so much more often for Sentinels. Feels like Sentinels hitting it every time, very well practiced with that look. For Envy, the individuals, I would say, are outplaying. Like, Cal is getting a ton done on this duelist, you know, on the Hela. He's creating tons of opportunities, but they're not able to close out these. I'm about to go there instantly in my next rank game.
Yeah, it's actually the brand new tech, which, by the way, Jake is not kidding. He mains Hela. He will be stealing that tech.
I'll be there. If I'm here in my next rank game, watch me, bro. I'll be up there with Cal. This is hilarious. Super Gomez is holding down the flank. He's like, turns around at the last second. What are you doing here? Oh, crap. I want to also highlight the strategist from Sentinels, right? Like this Luna Snow dance floor synergy of being able to switch to the damage right at the moment a key burst spell comes in, whether that's Meteor M, whether that's the Venom ult, whether that's, you know, of course, the Namor whale being the most critical, dominates this map, especially with Namor to help protect that backline. This is going to be a really difficult one. I think Cal is going to have a lot of opportunities here to make picks.
Also, we're saying domination repeatedly. This is convergence is what we're getting on here. This is yeah, I was saying that it's like, I'm pretty sure it's convergence, but maybe I'm wrong. I was just holding that the entire time. But yeah, this makes a lot more sense, I feel like, for Envy and how they like to play, and a lot of ways that a Hela can just be a menace here, as seen as Gomez is already down.
Yeah,
I thought I was wrong. I didn't want to say anything.
Cal's, I mean, this is like a really, I think, an odd map to be forcing the Star-Lord on too, but with this front-to-back playstyle, I mean, it's not domination, but this is still an insane Hela map. It's a lot of very long, very wide sightlines. You can see Amazing just peeking little by little, but so hard to actually find a kill like that. And walking through the choke with no Doctor Strange TP, super scary prospect on this map.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting because this is you could put this up for like hardest first point in the game to attack, and you have no Strange on top of it, no you know, freebie attack, as it were, that a lot of teams need to actually complete the point. So Envy right now doing a masterful job of applying pressure to Sentinels, but now Sentinels, they have the double strategist ult ready to go. Remix looking to force some of that out. So far though, Korova and Aramori holding firm. Sleepy gonna be first one to dance, cloning the Luna ult. Ready to go, and Cal got the pick on the Kalush here, Jake.
Cal has just been running rampant. He's gotten pick after pick here. Such a critical player, still with many ultimates to deploy. Sleepy does go down before Paintbrush pops that dance. Cal trading onto Korova, keeps this interesting, gets the res now. Okay, Hela is just turbo gapping right now. Cal running this server, and I mean, not even a tick found here for Sentinels. Bad ultimate trade for. I mean, I guess it's still, I guess it's a 2-for-1 ultimate trade. You do get the strategist ults out, but it's painful, man. The clock is running low, and Cal's just doing whatever he wants in this game, and I don't really see how you stop him, given the map, given the distance he can play from.
Cal has just been ridiculous. You have Envy, which has been playing relatively well the last map and a half now, and then you have Cal, where Cal is looking like the best hell in the world. What we're seeing right now, just an absolutely absurd performance in from Cal here so far. Something that Sentinels is yet to find a real answer for. Gomez, Galactic Legend, up early, looking to apply a little bit of pressure. Instead, forced back. Looking to remix now, turning around, looking and down. NK having none of that, Jake. The immediate disruption into the horn. No pickoffs from the horn because we got a little bit of dancing in from Aramori. Meteor M though, in over the top, looking for the dunk. Space though, no kills. But here comes Cal, Goddess of Death, as the ultimates come down. And it's the finisher, Jake, setting up the 2 kills, even if it's not Cal getting credit.
And we're looking at a full hold here. It's just going to be the Rye Amazing ultimate for the next push, and I just struggle to wonder whether that'll be enough. Gomez is going to go over to the Hella Mirror, but too little too late for me. I mean, maybe I think this probably is the right decision, because honestly, you don't have much hope here. You need a hero play, but to go this far in the map without the Hella, it's looked like an obvious strategic mistake here for Sentinels. And to be honest, you can't be showing weakness when you got to go up against 100 Thieves in the money match here. Even if you win out this series, I feel like you're going to need to be banning the Hella against a team like 100 Thieves. Maybe, you know, Sentinel's just thinking, you know what, we're going to win this series no matter what, so we're going to ban the Hella against 100 Thieves, so we'll pretend like we don't want to ban it. But it's looking scary here, and honestly, Envy is getting blood.
If that's a pretend, it's not working out right now, because there's just been enormous pressure from Cal anytime Sentinels even remotely peak. We are looking at Rye Amazing, who has the horn on deck. Remix. Just into the backline. Remix in real danger, has to back out. 97 HP, gets the shield off just in the nick of time. But here we go. Fate of both worlds. And the horn from Rye Amazing.
Always.
Huge here. Gets both supports and Sentinels. This is exactly what they need here, Jake, to get the first point and get the convoy moving.
Yeah, they get it over the line. They get the ball rolling, and that's critical because Sleepy died with the copy there. Could have had a second dance floor, could have been, you know, that key factor in keeping the team fight going long enough. But it's been the story for Sentinels, right? When they're struggling to get it over the line with this incredibly powerful combo, they've been so consistent at landing it. Now Super Gomez free to take this Hella duel. I think this is so important on this map. Like, if you're gonna let the Hella through, you need the confidence to take the mirror, right? I think it's just crazy to not. Kaluj taking a super aggressive angle though on the off angle and trying to route Envy out of a position that historically we've seen to be really strong for the defense. I love this move from Kaluj.
Kaluj also always does this when he has ult up, whether it be on Magneto or Doctor Strange. Kaluj uses ultimate being up as a excuse to get up in people's faces because you have a way out of a bad situation. But now, Fate of both worlds up. Answered by Meteor M. Kaluj scanning, looking, gets Sleepy down. Cal on the same note gets Rye Amazing, and Cal again is able to run Sleepy right up with the pickoff, gets Hogs on top of it. This Hella is a menace.
Oh, the focus fire on that Hella ultimate was just instant. He got one shot off. That's beautiful there by the defense from Team Envy. Great focus fire. Now Sentinels sent scattered to the winds, trying to survive, but they're falling back. They're splitting the formation. Envy senses blood in the water, and they're going to charge forward and wipe Sentinels off this map.
And remember, because Sentinels took so long to get the first point, they only got a minute left here, Jake. They're not really working with much time here for second as Envy cleans up and then some. What could be the last fight approaching swiftly. Look at the ult situation here, though. Do you like what you see for Sentinels or no?
I mean, they're lacking, you know, I guess it's just going to be the single support ultimate, but I mean, time and time again, right? It's been Luna's Nose Dance Floor with Rye Amazing toward Proteus. That has been enough to get it over the line. So Sleepy, I think, is the one who can stop that with the Immortality Rune. That'll be the difference maker here. Cal as well could find a pick off before the fight really begins.
Space getting poked down a lot. All eyes on Sleepy for the regeneration domain. Cal working into the back, but it's Rye Amazing, perhaps the first mover here. Holding on to the horn. Looking at Kurova. The horn will not come out until Kurova does Fate of both worlds. Kaluj with the Meteor M. But it is going to be the final fight for this point. The setup here has been set. Early God of Mischief into the horn. The horn does not connect. But Gomez gets caught. Cal with the early pick off Sentinels. Do you have the response? Corella with the fate of both worlds. Amazing waiting. Aramori is down. The window is closing right now for Sentinels. They're down 2. They're able to take down Paint. Amazing has used the horn. Kaluj has used Meteor M. They're moving on forward looking for a pick off, but instead NK takes down Kaluj. And Envy, Jake, they're gonna hold here.
They get the hold, they get it over the line, and Cal, once again, the savior of this team, right? Even with Loki going down, just finding so many pickoffs into the Resurrects. I think that's such a powerful team up there, especially if you want to play more aggressively on the Loki, take some more risks. I mean, it's a big gamble, but when Cal finds his pickoff, it's not just a one-player swing, it's a two-player swing when he's able to res the Loki back into the fight. And I mean, Super Gomez at times went to the Hela, it worked, then back to the Star-Lord. Star-Lord, I didn't feel any impact, frankly, from Star-Lord in this map. I'm sure he's, shooting the tanks and putting some pressure on, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that Cal is getting so much more done in this game.
Well, again, it's just it's the aura that's being projected that's literally holding you back, or metaphorically holding you back, I should say, and not quite the opposite, literally. But with the Super Gomez, you show your head for 1 second, and you got daggers being thrown at it. Your window to apply pressure as Star-Lord against a Hela as good as Cal is so minimal, Jake. And I think here, even if they did want the extra Hela practice, should Envy win this map, which now they are in a very good position to do if they don't get first held, this is the last we're seeing a Hell in this series. I'm calling it right now. It's the end.
You got to be banning the hell out. You have map picks, right? So you could take us to some maps maybe that are like really congested and, use the rest of your bans. There's like a way through here, but I wish they would have banned the hell on this map. I think that would have been a smarter play given that it's so wide open. There's so much opportunity for a player as good as Cal. It's a little bit of disrespect on Cal, frankly. The way Cal's been playing this series, to let the hell through here, it looks to me like an obvious mistake. That being said, Sentinels, I mean, this is a map that's very full holdable. There's no Dr. Strange to flip the choke. Maybe Super Gomez can just be really aggressive, punishing those enemies as they walk through the choke.
No fear. Space just gonna climb up and go, we will contest the high ground. We will try and rip it away from you, but the Loki army is up here. The regeneration domain immediately popped. Envy trying to win the choke fight right now. My question is, where's Cal? Is Cal off in the flank or is Cal off in the front right now? I think it might be buying time for Cal to find a better position.
Dude, I don't think you can get through this choke. Like, this is some crazy pressure right now from the Loki as well. Remix is through. We use everything defensive, forcing everything, but still, 1 HP just barely slips out. And still, Amazing finds the kill onto Paintbrush. Starting to pour the pressure on. Super Gomez cleans up a flank fight. That's a critical 1v1 to win there from Super Gomez, right? You can imagine Cal started to turn that around, but Amazing overstep, dies to NK, and losing a defender, I think, pretty painful with how long the walk back is. Envy, you're going to have a momentary opportunity to grab a power play here.
Yeah, and if nothing else, you give up positioning here, right? We're part of the power of the defense here, and why you see Dr. Strange always used for the portal is that you can contest really aggressively before anything is gone. Instead, Space is able to walk up a little bit for free while Sentinels is waiting to be back up to full strength. Now they are back up to full strength. We'll see where this one goes. God of Mischief is going to be used here. Sleepy about to dance. Korova nearly goes down. Korova had the pop ultimate in response to the Cal pressure with Remix. So the early support or strategist ult used by Sentinels. Horn out. Gomez low. Not killed off in the middle of it. Kaluj with the Meteor M also doesn't get anything. Meteor M in from space. Diving. Looking. What's he going to get? Finds Super Gomez in the bushes. Now Envy working at the advantage. Is it going to be enough right now? Cal still a threat on the outskirts. Gauss Death nearly charged. And with Amazing down, Jake, Envy's looking great right now onto the first point.
Yeah, they got a lot of point to capture, but Sentinel's going to really struggle to get the recontest. Now the flank in from Cal into the back line just decapitates Sentinels, and it's going to be a point cap for Envy. Remember, there's not so much push they need to get on second. This is looking like a very potential map win for Team Envy as they look to fight back for the reverse sweep in the series.
All right, and you know the tides have changed where even Hydration in chat suddenly, Jake, is dropping the Remix reverse sweep. His heart beats. We've found it. Hydration now fully Team Remix. But will that moral support be enough? Sentinels, no stranger to adversity. Sending up here, Jake. Super Gomez, Galactic Legend online versus the automatic Galactic Legend and Cal. Forced back though here early. Blaster Barrage. In over the top and doesn't like that one bit. Cal pops us, Jake, not really for damage, but more so just to live.
Yeah, needed to just stay alive here. I actually don't mind that, just playing it for tempo. It's not the most consistent ultimate. Super Gomez gonna go with the legendary though. Knows Cal is on the back foot for a moment. Won't waste any time here. And this is the type of fight Sentinels need, right? One ult should be getting a big cleanup, although Envy backing well together, fighting it out. That being said, Sentinels, they know they have a huge advantage with 2 picks, going in for more, getting the solid cleanup. Can't give up any kind of a mistake here. Super, super important, but they get the job done exactly that fashion. There's no room for mistakes, though. With 3 minutes on the clock, one pickup from Cal could be all Envy need to break this hold open and potentially grab their first map of the series.
And for Envy, I think they're fine doing a little bit of an eco push there too. They only need one good fight to take this map, to keep the series extended. And now
Cal,
oh,
you speak his name and he will deliver now. Starting to push forward are Envy. They got 5 ultimates online. Sentinels have quite a few ultimates of their own, but they know they need to delay. They need to stall this clock. Kaluj needs a lot of support. Already the dance floor forced out.
They're looking for a horn right now. They're looking for Amazing. Use your lungs. Blow that horn one more time. Kaluj off the damage boost. Meteor M finds paint. That's big. Is it going to be enough, though? We have the God of Mischief being popped here by Sleepy. Envy is committing. Cal is still hunting. The horn is being blown by Amazing. And another 3 are going to go down. Sentinels getting the better of this fight. Another minute burned off the clock. And resources burned out from Envy. But 2 minutes still to go, Jake, with the convoy nearly there.
And despite heroics from Cal, Sentinels, they're so good in these heavy ultimate team fights. They really understand how to get the most out of their skills, how to get the most out of the combos and the team plays. And for now, that's been good enough. Envy, double Vanguard ult, but not the easiest ultimates to work with. That being said, Super Gomez, if he pops Legendary, it's going to be an instant Meteor M from space. Very hard to get value into that matchup.
Super Gomez, how you feeling? He's probably going to say Legendary up to the top. And as predicted, Meteor M out in response, negating a lot of the factor of that Star-Lord ultimate, but also getting Meteor M out. Envy, look at their ultimate situation right now. Goss of Death up, Feast up. Are they going to get value from it? Remix going in. Says it's time to feast. And Cal finding Hog. Space on the Amazing. 2 down here for Sentinels. Envy about to extend this series. Super Gomez diving in. Blaster Barrage looking for anything. Only catches the Space hands to the face. As it's going to be Envy taking a map off Sentinels and extending this series.
Down, they let it through, and yeah, Cal is just an absolute menace. This is kind of what we're talking about, though. Just Cal continues to deliver, and you also have good performances from NK, but the team play across the board looks a lot better for Envy. They were so close to being able to extend that Midtown to those extra innings. This time, it's a close map, but it results in a win. If they're going to continue to trend in that direction, they absolutely can pull off a reverse sweep. For Sentinels, I think you have that ace up your sleeve, potentially, which is just going to be trying to get this Hela out of the hands of Cal. But I think it's something that absolutely needs to happen, regardless if they win the next map or not. They have the pick, they have the ability to take this out of their hands. Sentinels should, in theory, be able to close the series out 3-1. But Envy, they're building up momentum, and that's a scary prospect.
Yeah, I think, you know, you think about the momentum of the series. Map 1 was a big win for Sentinels. They probably felt super confident. Map 2, they got my eyes on Cal. Cal and NK both have really impressed me throughout the series. That being said, there's no DPS that's quite as much of like a solo carry server admin as the Hela. I mean, Winter Soldier, very powerful, but much more team-oriented.
Yeah, and I mean, that being said, I do like the Winter Soldier here, especially on defense at this first point versus a Loki. I mean, look, with what we've seen from Cal on mechanical level, we could go from the Hela show to the Again show. Remix, a little bit of dive back, nice timing. See Gomez under pressure, and we'll see how this Envy frontline, Jake, is able to hold one of the toughest choke points in the game here off the rip.
Yeah, I think Remix is kind of getting bullied out of this forward position. We'll see if he's able to stay there for now, holding on to the car position, denying any kind of progress. But little by little, I feel Sentinels are winning this poke trade, starting to take a really wide position right now.
It's going back and forth. I've been impressed with Remix just having really good sense of when to go in, when to back out, using Thing's abilities to the maximum. Regen domain used pretty early in the fight. And right now, Jake, I just feel like we're in the ult building phase where Sentinels, they're just going to Kaluj like, you ready? You ready? And Kaluj like, I'm almost there, but Cal strikes early, gets Gomez out of the sky via the Winter Soldier, sets up the 6-on-5, and now Kurova gonna burn the fate of both worlds, even down numbers. One-shot combo on the table with Kaluj with Meteor M ready to go. Hasn't been used here just yet. Now, looking, Meteor M up, dives in. No kill this time, Jake, as Envy holds strong.
Big ultimates now from the defenders. Envy looking to get the cleanup with the help of that Kraken impact from Cal, who might look to chase to the spawn, but didn't find a connection there, so no executions available to come in. Seems like Sentinels are going to get the retreat back to the spawn there. But this has been characteristic of Sentinels. They're willing to commit ults in down fights, and they end up with a decent trade from a macro perspective here. So I like Sentinels' odds here in this next engagement. They never waste a team fight, even when it goes against them.
Yeah, the economy is looking pretty good. I mean, the only downside is that you look at it here, and it's actually, no, it's not even a downside. They're going to be able to use God of Mischief into the Horde.
Super Gomez,
yeah,
deleted out of the ultimate.
Gomez just died immediately. He just got clutched out. He was like, okay, we're waiting for the sub. What if your Star-Lord just dies, Jake? What the?
That's not good. And, you know, they're using that copy ultimate from Aramori, but it's really just without any aggression here. Envy responding kind, happy to take the fight now to these attackers. The Hornet Proteus comes in from NK, and Sentinels sent reeling now. Momentum strongly against them in the series. They've been just crushed in the last few team fights, and maybe they were coming into the series, you know, hiding some strats, expecting it to be an easy win, but Envy have gotten an inch right now, and they're taking a mile. They're showing that they're not to be trifled with, potentially looking towards a full hold. The ultimate economy is terrible for Sentinels.
Yeah, I mean, if you're amazing, you kind of want to wait till Fate of Both Worlds is up. Same for Kaluj. So in a way for Sentinels, you're a little bit time gated right now from Kurova getting ults up. Meanwhile, Envy gets he's the advantage. Clobbering time in the pickoff right after. Hogs unable to get away. Final minute here. And Sentinels, this was kind of an eco push, but they end up feeding more ult to Envy in turn.
NK is crushing the flank fight as well, and then Amor, such a huge factor that Sentinels aren't able to get through. And it's going to be kind of one last fight for Sentinels. I mean, 50 seconds on the clock, but with how many ultimates are online, it's probably going to go long, probably going to go to the overtime. Envy don't have much to work with, but Paintbrush, I think, with the dance floor is going to be really valuable in extending this fight and bridging the gap to those other ultimates coming online soon for Envy. Sentinels need to strike hard and fast here.
I think your Sentinels, you look at Gomez. Gomez will be the opener, and Raimazing the finisher here. Here comes Gomez. Galactic Legend ready to go. Raimazing uses the horn super early, unassisted. Nothing really happens from it. I mean, I guess you get Paint to use Fate of Both Worlds. But now Kaluj, Meteor M, Envy still alive here, Jake, as Kaluj goes down. Sentinels down one, final 12 seconds. This is final fight on first. Legendary can be used here by Gomez. Meteor M out in turn, looking, trying to get at least one pick off here, but the Fate of Both Worlds keeping Envy nice and healthy. Blaster Barrage in. Envy pushed a little bit into the corner here, but Envy now coming right back out. The Horde of Proteus up here for NK. Envy could be holding this here, Jake, as soon as this Fate of Both Worlds goes down.
And when these support ultimates drop, it's going to be Cal here with the Kraken impact, looking to get a cleanup, pops it now, dives in, get the execution now, again, and again. And Sentinels have just been full held here on map 4. Envy looking to even up this series with a beautiful defense.
What in the world is going on? No Hella, no problem. Sentinels usually had great ult value. The ult value was not there. They were not able to push through first despite multiple attempts. And now, Jake, we get to see if they can do a hero shooter tradition, the fuller hold for Sentinels if they want to win the map and go on to the money match, or is it going to be Envy forcing a map 5 looking resurgence? The iRemix reverse sweep, as Hydration called it, potentially on the table here.
I mean, Super Gomez needs to get a lot done here on the Star-Lord because, honestly, the value of Winter Soldier is that he's going to be constantly winning that tank trade. NK moves over to the flank, gets frozen up, commits everything, but gets support now. And Sentinels went on the back foot for that, tried to respond, but the save was there. And now Envy back to focusing the tank trade.
A little bit of Blaster Barrage here. Still a huge threat here, too, is Cal on the Winter Soldier, looking for hooks all the while in the neutral game. Actually pretty powerful up until the fact ultimate trades start coming on in. So far, though, Envy good. They go for the early Loki clone here. Gonna be Fate of Both Worlds used. Galactic Legend ready for Super Gomez, who might be dead and is. Cal's able to finish it. Super Gomez wasn't able to get out after using the Blaster Barrage. And Envy with the 6-on-5. They're just looking to block the door right now, Jake. Sentinels need to go back out their own Fate of Both Worlds. It's up to Kaluj really to save this one. But here come the impacts. Kraken impact out. Will there be it again? So far, it's looking like no. Cal forced back. Kaluj, Meteor M. Sentinels looking to stay in. No kills off the Meteor M. Here comes the horn. No kills off the horn. Aramori, Fate of Both Worlds dance up, but space now, Jake. In, ready. Fate of Both Worlds. Here comes the horn. No kills off the horn. And
opportunity for Gomez. Legendary.
To finally get the kill as a second Galactic Legend comes on in from Super Gomez, but space connects, Jake.
Yeah, it looks all over here. Envy crashing over the Sentinels who are trying to make that hold. It's not to be. An Yggdrasil path goes very quickly in favor of Envy. Now on series point, down to a game 5. Sentinels, after map 1, they had to think, you know, this is in the bag.
Hits you in the face. That's where the desperation starts coming in. That's where you start panicking and falling apart in really, really critical moments. I mean, that shutdown we just saw from Space onto Gomez, absolutely critical, but it felt like here Envy could do no wrong. Every single ult, every single projectile, just hitting critical targets time and time again. These are the things that were, you know, kind of somewhat present at the beginning of the series, where we're saying like, okay, you know, the hero performances are looking good for Envy, but the team cohesion's not there. Now everybody's doing it. Everybody across the board, they're connecting with their ults, they're connecting with all of their abilities.
We'll see if it actually pays off. Historically, Sentinels has been really good on this comp. Let's see what Super Gomez can do on the Thor. Envy's got to be very careful. There's a lot of power to pull people out of position with this Thor, so mistakes in positioning can be punished very hard. That being said,
just like that, just as you say that, Cal says, "You're no god to me," gets the arm hook, takes him out, sets up the 6v5 for Envy. Envy looking very healthy here, amazing. On to the Star-Lord, playing it now instead of Super Gomez, who's on the tank. But Remix swings away, finds Aramori, and it's easy cleanup here for Envy, Jake. A reversal from our first map, which was also domination.
it's starting to look grim because you look at this duelist line, right? Like, honestly, I think you'd rather have Winter Soldier into the triple Vanguard, right? Like that ability to pull somebody out of position. Thor is a massive damage dealer, but relatively squishier than most of the other Vanguards in the lineup. Team Envy now taking this forward hold. Sentinel's got to walk up through the overwhelming spam pressure that Cal and NK have been putting down on them. And you got to, I mean, think about those duelists. They're going to do so much damage into this comp.
Envy right now in the driver's seat. Sentinels looking for a way back in. Real close to getting a whole lot of ults online are both teams. Still neutral to start this off. Sleepy, God of Mischief, ready to go. The dance should be happening soon. Instead, Cal, Kraken Impact immediately gets two. That's not killing clones, Jake. That's just killing bodies.
This series is starting to get out of control. Team Envy charging forward to a victory. They were the underdogs, but they want to be in the money match. There's NK with a triple. Not even really needed in this fight, but they're gonna just wipe Sentinels off of the map. They know this is a team that is threatening even down numbers. And Sentinels, I wonder, are they gonna make a change now? It's starting to get scary. You just keep getting picked off on the walk up by Cal, who's been that constant thorn in your side throughout the series. Starting to get very annoying, very scary. But on this triple Vanguard setup, what can you really do about Winter Soldier?
I mean, Winter Soldier is one of your bigger counters. He can pull you out of position. He can ruin your day. But here we go. Galactic Legend gonna be popped here early by Amazing, looking for anything. Kaluge, Meteor M, looking and looking into the back, into the regen domain. Does nothing.
So sick.
And here we go. Aramori with the fate of both worlds here. Sleepy returning the favor in turn. Sentinels using their entire ult bank here, Jake. No one has fallen yet for Envy, and Cal is ready to return the favor. Kraken Impact almost online.
Cal looking for a hook that could be huge. Pulls in Aramori, who's in trouble on the point, has to TP out, but the damage has been done. And Team Envy gonna win this round, gonna put themselves on series point here. Sentinels stumbling at the finish line, and Envy sense a weakness now as they just clean Sentinels off the map 100-0 after 2 back-to-back map wins. This is looking dire for the Sentinels.
People didn't believe hydration. Let the Kraken Impact do the talking. We'll see if that's the case for now. Looking for the early hook. Does not connect. Now, going underneath. Kraken Impact, good to go. Waiting right now. And the early picks still come out. No ult required from Cal. It's just Remix winning in the neutral.
NK has been such a hero on this Namor. I mean, we focused on Cal, and I think that's for good reason. But NK has been lighting it up this series. And now with Sentinel stumbling, every second of this fight is just more opportunity for Namor to just pump damage. And Sentinel's comp, they need to get kills quickly. Like, if this becomes a long-term damage trade, you just cannot outlast heroes like Namor and Winter Soldier. Sentinels, they're trying to like run this strat. It's just not working whatsoever. They haven't really been able to get into a decent engagement. They're just constantly dying to picks. Envy is smothering them with the pressure.
Sentinels is committed, but they might be committed into doom. As they move in, Cal licking his chops. The Kraken impact is ready to go. Cal, though, might be dead. Focused on down. Aramori with the finishing blow. And Sentinels catch Cal off guard. They don't let him get the early start. An economical fight opening here for Sentinels as the God of Thunder comes on down. Super Gomez looking for a little bit of cleanup here. Sentinels still burning quite a bit in terms of ultimates. Fate of both worlds about to fade. And yet Envy, they're buying some time here, Jake, even when it is probably a losing fight. They even make Kaluj use the Meteor M.
Yeah, Sleepy did double down with, you know, the copied Luna Snow ultimate, so made sense here. Namor gonna drop late. But it gets a lot out of the Sentinels as well. They're not able to win that one for free. And so I think Team Envy, that's showing real fight there to continue to double down in what ends up being a losing fight, but the trade ends up being solid for them. They have a real chance to get back in. And while I say that, though, I do think Sentinels, the triple Vanguard comp, the real strength of it should be holding down choke points. It should be very difficult for Envy to come through a choke when they have these range damage dealers. Sentinels are all about the close range brawl, the aggression, and so holding the cap should be their strength, but there's always the chance for that Kraken impact.
Early Galactic Legend, pressure on the space. Space able to back on out. Can Rymazing find anything else right now? It's looking a bit doubtful. Galactic Legend is over. Envy still on top. Cal's been holding on to this Kraken impact for a while. When it's going to make its notice known, Sleep is able to get down Hogs. And here come the resets again and again. In comes Cal, looking for one more. For real close. Gets it at the end. Gets one more. Yeah, this is full cleanup. And it's, you look at the progress here. Envy will take control again at 50%.
Still, though, Sentinel's holding on, gonna double down. Getting these resets off the Loki clones is such a powerful interaction as Cal is just eating them alive one by one by one. He's got to reset if he even needs it. Continuing to dive into the spawn. There's players who already died to the Kraken impact coming back into the fight. They think better of it. He could go one more. Oh, if he got on the Loki clone, like I think he wanted to, he could have had that ult running for like 30 seconds or something ridiculous. And being able to get that done with such few ultimates, once again, Sentinels are in this unenviable position of walking up into NK and Cal, who are just dumping damage down main.
66% to 66%. Sentinels on the verge of getting knocked out before the money match, looking for a way in. What is getting close to what could be final fight. Hogs leading the way here on the thing. Moving over and in. Gonna be answered here by Paint. Fate of both worlds in. Aramori gonna have the same in turn. Super Gomez, God of Thunder, locked and loaded, ready to go. Into the backline we go. Waiting right now. Instead, Meteor M in from space, trying to shut on down. No kill from that. Remix was able to take down Rymazing. Sentinels with 5 versus NV6. 90%. Paint finds Kaluj. Sentinels with 3 people left, about to be knocked out into the money match as Cal again and again has put Envy over the top towards the very end. 99%. And it is Envy knocking out Sentinels and moving forward to face 100 Thieves.